Okay, welcome to another video of Behind the Tool. Behind the Tool is where I give you specific tutorials for certain tools. Keep in mind the interfaces changes constantly, but the functionality will always stay the same. Okay, so today I'm going to show you the behind the scenes look into building a WordPress website. In my last video, I gave you the 5 key elements that you need to know before you build any type of website, especially on WordPress. And today I'm showing you how that actually looks like on the back end, just because not everyone has access to it. And hopefully, me showing you what I've done for myself and for other people will help build up your skills as well. So before we dive in, if this is your first time on this channel, my name is Roxanne and I am the founder of Marketing Tech Mama. My mission with this YouTube channel is to help 100 moms to be able to work from home by being a technical virtual assistant in digital marketing. So the 5 key elements that I've talked about in my last video are domains, hosting, theme, plugins, which I had a list of plugins, and then wireframing the website. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and I'm just going to show you quickly each part of the backend, especially for the domain and hosting. Like I said in my last video, they both work together, right? You need a domain for hosting, you need hosting for a domain, and we're just going to talk about that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so this is the back end of my WordPress website, but we're going to go through each point that I mentioned. So the first one is the domain, and like I said, I'm using Namecheap. You can use whatever you want. But I also bought Marketing Tech Mama and I bought the Marketing Tech Mama just because I just wanted to have both of those domains. So that's point one. And like I said, in my last video, they both are joining together. So we're just going to go ahead and move on to point two, which is hosting. Because once I have hosting, this is how it looks like in DreamHost for myself. What happens is you're going to go to the DNS piece over here, and then you see the at and the FTP, right? Anytime you're having the at, this is the value that you need to use for your website so that it knows where to point to. So, for instance, let me come here. Let me open this up. Hold on a second. Sorry. Okay, so I have this in here, and you go to Advanced DNS. Okay. And then so you see this here, the A record is one. And if you're wondering like where to get this from and all of that stuff, one thing I would say about hosting companies, they're very, very helpful. There's been plenty of times, especially when I was first starting out, that I've reached out and I said, "Hey, I have this domain, I have this website. Can you connect it together at least for to give me the values and stuff like that?" And they'll be able to do that. Okay, so that's how I have the values in here so that it just knows, and it's usually the A record, and the at means it's for anything that's concerning your domain. So mine will be Marketing Tech Mama, and then this one is www, so you can use either or. Okay, so that's that. The hosting, then, right? Once you have when you know where it's parked, that's where these other items kick in. This is like webmail and mailboxes, right? That's not as important, but FTP was definitely important for my website as well. So then you have your hosting connected, right? It's like once you put your domain and your hosting together, that part is done. You're good from there. Okay, so now the next thing that I talk about was themes. And like I shared in my last video, my theme is a free theme. And let me show you how it looks like. Okay, I have Ocean WP, and the reason why we use this theme because when I started with my wireframing, this theme looked the most close to what I was trying to build. Plus, it's very right. It has the tags right, two columns, right, sidebar, footer, widgets, like just it just had all the stuff that I needed for my website. Okay, so that's my Ocean WP theme. Now we're going to move on to the plugins. So, like I've mentioned before, I have WP Optimize. It's on this site. It might be another one on this one, which is totally fine. Okay, so this one is actually WP Super Cache. Let me see. I think it's on my other website that I have WP optimized. Okay, but I do have WP super cache, and it just helps the caching for it. Let's do the settings again, just to make sure that my website is moving fast and it's not moving slow, right? So it's on, you get to go to the settings and you can just go through each of the things and set this up. This is completely free, right? I just have a simple one, enable caching for all video, right? For all visitors. I just kind of leave it as a basic setup. I didn't really do anything fancy. Then the next thing is either WP forms or contact forms. And let's come here. I am using contact form here, right? And I have this on my, actually, uh, let me show you on my website on the live version. Okay, where it is, right? So contact is down here on my page. And that's the contact, right? And then here's the form down here, and I put a captcha here just because I had a lot of spam and stuff. So they have to do the simple math problems in order to send me a question. Okay, so that's how that looks like. Then what else I use? Backup. So I have Updraft, Backup Restore. Like I said, this is not a paid thing. This is actually totally free. And I have it so that it goes, all the backups go to a specific folder in my Dropbox folder. For me, that works. I mean, I do have Google Drive. Amazon S3 is really good for storage. I've been thinking about using them, but because I have like Dropbox, Google Drive, iCloud, I have so many already. It's like, I don't know if I want to add more, but that's just my personal take on it. SEO, I am actually using Squirrely SEO. I actually like this. I found this deal on AppSumo, and I just really like it because ever since I installed this plugin, I've been getting way more traffic to my website. I've been getting comments on blogs. Like now it's like a weekly thing where I have a good amount of uh, views and activities and comments, and I really give it to Squirrely SEO. So the page builder that I talked about is Elementor. Like I said, I love Elementor. We can pick a page and we can use it as an example, maybe the contact page, since we already have this open here. Actually, let's do that. I'll hit edit with edit Elementor so you can see it. And again, I like it. It's just easy to drag and drop. How it looks like on here is how it's going to look like when it's live, right? I don't have to guess. I don't have to hope I know it's going to look like or that it's going to look good. I'm going to know for sure. Okay, so just letting it load. Okay, this is how it looks like. So these are all the items, right? The snippets on the side. You can just take, they tell you certain stuff that's like it's like a pro version. And I also have some other things for myself. I bought something called exclusive add-ons as well for Elementor as well. So that's what I have. Okay, so anyway, you can take any one of these. I'm just going to put something just here, just for now, right? That says read more. And then it's like, well, hey, what happened? So what's going to happen is it's going to say read more text, and then it's going to link, and you can link it to wherever you want to link it. Okay. So that's just an example. I'm just going to delete this because I don't want this on my actual website. All right. And then I am going to just leave without saving anything because I don't want to change anything. So like I mentioned here, I like to use insert headers and footers. So here's this one, WP code, insert headers and footers. There's one that's just literally called headers, insert headers and footers. It's the same thing, right? It just allows you to easily add code snippets on WordPress that you can use. And generally, I like to use that for like tracking, right? Like I use Google Tag Manager. So I put my Google Tag Manager code on the headers, footers, and snippets, and then I manage all the other access in that through Google Tag Manager. It's a little more of an advanced feature, so we're not going to talk about that there, but I'm just sharing what I'm doing right now in my business. And then we've talked about page and blog duplicator. So let me come over here. There should be a plugin for that. Right, see? Oh, you see how it says X duplicator? So that allows me to just take this and duplicate it, and I'm good. I'm good to go, even for my blogs as well. Let me show you that. Right, even here. Okay, that's currently being edited. Awesome. Um, right, duplicator. I'm telling you, it's going to make your life so much better, so much easier. So now what I'm all about to share with you, it's a little funny to me. It's a little, no, I don't want to say like embarrassing, but I want you to see the behind the scenes, right? That's what this whole thing is about. So the last thing that I talked about was wireframing. So when I wireframed, this is literally what I did. I'm going to show it to you. So right here was I got a piece of paper and I just started drawing it out on a piece of paper what I want it to look like. Let me see if I can make it a little smaller so you can see the whole thing. Right. So this is what I did. I just gave this to my graphic designer, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about, right? Text, image, right? And then from there, this is what she came up with. She came up with this based off of that, right? So now we have a wireframe. So now that I know the graphics, right, how it looks like, now I'm just going to bring my copywriter in and say, hey, let's start filling this in, right? This is how it's supposed to look like. So then when I give it to the implementation team, they have everything, right? But if I didn't take the time to wireframe this, she wouldn't know what guidelines to do. Like, what am I looking for, right? And also I gave her those guidelines. I told her kind of what I'm looking for, what I'm trying to do, who's this, the avatar is, all of that stuff so that she can keep that in mind, right? And I already have a brand guide. She actually created my brand guide for me. So for me, it was a little bit easier for her to just be like, hey, let's take my brand guide, let's take this stuff, let's take this wireframe, and let's build this website. And now this is the live version of my website. Let's take a look. Can close this out now. Right? So now it looks different. We had a different image. We made some different changes as time went on. But this is how it looks like now. This is the final version as of right now. Okay. So I hope you like this content. That's it for today's video. Hope you like the content. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe my channel so you can be notified when I create more content. I also write about being a technical virtual assistant on my blog at marketingtechmama.com/blog. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.